Welcome to Sliver and Bite TV. Let's make hot honey chicken strips. You can dial up or dial down the spice to suit everyone. As you can see, I'm using chicken breast. However, you can use whatever part of the chicken you like, such as just the tenderloin or the thigh. Because I will be velveting this chicken, it won't matter, it'll all be tender. I'm just trimming off some of the fat, and in this particular case there was a little bit of bone left. And then I am going to cut down the tenderloin and put that in the bowl, and there is usually just a little line of fat through the center of it, so just removing that and then cutting the rest of this chicken breast into strips. So that it cooks evenly, you want to make sure that you don't have too bigger pieces in there. Otherwise, you may need to finish the chicken off in the oven, which is a great way to keep it warm and crispy. Just putting in the last two bits of chicken, and now it's time to velvet. And if you are unfamiliar with this term, I am pouring baking soda over the chicken, massaging it in, and that'll sit in the fridge for up to 15 minutes. This will tenderize your chicken express for you. This is used in a lot of Asian restaurants. You want to make sure that every bit of the chicken is covered in the baking soda and then covered and refrigerated. Make sure you don't exceed 15 minutes, otherwise you stand to have the chicken turn to mush. Once the 15 minutes is up, you can put it in a cold bowl of water, and we're just going to wash each individual chicken strip off just to make sure that the baking soda is completely removed. As you can see, I'm putting this on a clean tea towel. In the past, I have used paper towel. However, the paper towel, once it gets wet, starts to lift off onto the chicken. And as long as you put the tea towel on a hot wash, it will kill any bacteria. Now it's time to thoroughly dry the chicken. Make sure that there are no water droplets on it. And that's just off to the side while we get the marinade ready. We're going to go in with some Greek yogurt. And now pouring in my plate of flavor. We're going in with some cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and salt. However, you can let your imagination go wild and put in whatever you like. And then mixing that thoroughly. You can actually use this mix to tenderize your chicken. You just need to make sure that you prepare this the day before and let the chicken sit overnight. Now just adding the chicken strips into the marinade and giving that a good mix and making sure that every piece of chicken is touching the marinade. and we're covered with some cling film or a lid and placing in the fridge. Because I've already velveted, I would have it in there for up to 2 hours. Now it's time to get ready for our coating. I have some self-raising flour and just sprinkling over some corn flour. This will assist in crisping up your chicken. And then this plate of taste is hot paprika, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, and some oregano. And mixing that well. And whilst I've been preparing that, I have had the oil on, and I'm bringing that up to approximately 170 degrees Celsius. You want to make sure your oil is at the right heat, otherwise you stand to overcook the outside and have raw chicken on the inside. So now we're going to get the dredging process going. So just picking up a piece of the chicken, wiping off just a little bit of the yogurt coating, and then rolling that around in the dry coating. I'm using a fork and some tongs here. However, you could use your bare hands or you could glove up. You'll notice that when I put this in, the eruption is quite vigorous. My oil was just a little too hot, so I'm just bringing that down a little bit, and that's due to my lack of attention whilst I've been filming. However, as you can see, I have a wire rack over a baking tray. This will go into the oven, and that will allow the inside to cook and also keep the outside nice and crispy. Once you drop the chicken into the oil, you want to make sure you don't go ahead and touch it too soon. You want to make sure the coating crisps up enough that it doesn't fall off. And also going in with my digital thermometer, which you can click the link below to purchase one of your own through my Amazon shop, just to make sure that the temperature is at the right temperature. And you want to make sure that it's not too hot, because that can also create trouble in the kitchen with smoke and possible fire. So you've got to be careful. And then safely retrieving that from the oil and letting it drip on the drip tray, and then going in for a second round. Slippery little suckers. And just a side note, you want the internal temperature of the fattest part of the chicken to be 74 plus degrees Celsius or 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And getting ready to plate up, I'm just putting some of my homemade ranch dressing into a bowl next to the bed of rocket. You can click the link above to learn how to make the homemade ranch. Absolutely stunning recipe. Just retrieving the chicken from the oven and then plating that nicely around the ranch and on the bed of rocket, which is of course not necessary, but looks great if you're serving to guests, but also prevents the chicken from sweating. Just grabbing a bit of chicken and cutting it just to show you the inside. It is succulent It is so beautifully soft and juicy. Now getting some of my hot honey, which you can click the link above to make your very own, and drizzling over and dipping into some of that ranch. What a dish, and easier than you think. Thanks for joining me today for hot honey chicken strips. We'll see you soon.